I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about Nick Diaz reveals he asked the UFC to fight as soon as possible. Hints at two potential opponents for UFC return. UFC veteran Nick Diaz has revealed that he wants to make his return to the promotion at some point later this year. For many years now, Nick Diaz has been viewed as a real fan favorite in mixed martial arts. He may not, okay, I'm not going to say that. He hasn't won since 2011. Is that what? Still, has the kind of personality that will always leave him looking good in the eyes of MMA fans. His last performance came back at UFC 266. Wow, back then, 2000 and September 2021. On that night, he lost Viva TKO at the hands of Robbie Lawler. Many felt it was if that would serve as his retirement fight. Instead, Diaz has spent the last couple of months teasing the possibility of yet another return. In a recent interview, Nick Diaz doubled down on his desire to compete at middleweight again in the UFC. I'm asking to fight as soon as possible, Nick Diaz says. Not John Jones, though. Yeah, something like that. Israel Adesanya or Alex Pereira. I always wanted to fight the best. The interviewer was clearly trying to get some kind of definitive statement out of him because we all know Nick isn't going to be fighting the likes of Israel Adesanya or Alex Pereira anytime soon. I wouldn't say that necessary. So he can fight Izzy if Izzy loses again or something like that. If anything, it makes more sense for him to be looking to take on a fellow veteran. Hold on. I thought they said, I guess those are the two names. Oh, I was reading it. I'm like, hold on. I thought they were going to give some two names. Like, because you see the headline says hints at two potential opponents. I thought he was going to give some opponents here, but there's no opponents here. Would I like to see Nick Diaz versus Paulo Costa in the middleweight division? Would I like to see Nick Diaz versus Robert Whittaker in the middleweight division? I would say maybe Nick Diaz versus, a Dracus du Plessis, right? Dracus du Plessis wants to get like a top, well, I guess maybe not even Dracus du Plessis, because Dracus du Plessis respectfully is looking for a title shot. But yeah, maybe a name like Dracus du Plessis. I think a lot of people would say Sean Strickland, right? If there was two names I would probably throw out there, I would throw Sean Strickland name out there first, right? That would be an interesting fight. And then the second name I would throw out there just because, listen, as impressive as Dracus du Plessis was, and finishing Blonde Bronson in the second round is very impressive. But Dracus du Plessis looked tired in that. Like, I thought he lost the first round. He looked super winded. He looked super tired in that second round. So I would like to see him fight maybe one more time before he gets another title fight. Maybe a fight versus Diaz doesn't make the most sense in the world, because I actually do respect that Dracus du Plessis was talking about, a title shot and not talking about necessarily maybe a money fight. But personally, I don't think I want to see, Nick Diaz versus Robert Whittaker, maybe Chimaev, right? Maybe if you want to throw that out there. We don't know what Chimaev is doing. Is he a welterweight? When is he fighting? We haven't heard from Chimaev since last September, and at that event Chimaev was scheduled to fight Nate Diaz at welterweight, and he missed weight. So maybe, so those are my three names. I know it's supposed to be two, but if I were to throw three names out there, I would say Dracus du Plessis, Hamzat Chimaev, and Sean Strickland. Those are the three names I would throw out there in the middleweight division if I wanted to see Nick Diaz fight. I'm a little bit surprised that he hasn't won a fight since 2011. Like, are you serious? Wow, that's a very long time. So So yeah, those are the three names I would throw out there. Let me know your opinion of this story. Who are, one, two, three names you would like to see Nick Diaz come back and fight in the UFC middleweight division. I'm Jason, UFC. Today we have a story about Nick Diaz reveals he's asked the UFC to fight as soon as possible. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.